Oh, hi there. Welcome to Spotify, the final song. My name is Adabola Falade. I am a senior information systems major from Prince George's County, Maryland. Today, I'd like to talk to you about Spotify. Spotify is one of the biggest players in the music streaming industry. Spotify was founded by Daniel Ek and Martin Lauritsen in Stockholm, Sweden, in 2006. But since its public launch in 2008, Spotify has grown significantly, having more than over 6 million subscribers. Since its public launch in 2008, Spotify has grown significantly, having more than over 6 million subscribers and 140 million active users in 32 countries on 4 different continents. At the end of October 2016, with more than 100 million users, 30 million of whom paid a monthly fee for Spotify's premium services, it had entered the difficult US market with great successes, and it already had a presence in more than over 50 countries. Spotify's catalog contained more than 30 million songs, including the libraries of all major recording labels. Spotify became one of the first streaming platforms and gave them an advantage into the digital music industry. Spotify's brand identity is built upon the phrase, the right music for every moment. So you gotta get your tunes right. With the leading principles of being easy, personal, and fun. The social music service became the first major company to allow users to create personalized playlists, not only allowing them to finish their own songs, but by discovering new music, connecting with their friends through social media, and following their favorite artists, and many other services. Spotify has taken a full advantage of social media to enhance their brand.
To first start looking at this case, the first song, we first started looking at the problem. So the first problem that we realized was there was a problem with the distribution of royalties. So Spotify allocated at least 70% of their revenue to royalties. And these royalties were paid out to the record labels, and artists were seeing little to no return on their songs. So based off that, artists were trying to find new distribution methods to start seeing and start building on their financials. So with that, artists such as Jay-Z and Drake tried to find new methods to go about this method. So Jay-Z started up his own streaming service called Tidal that was just for artists, and stakeholders such as Beyonce and Drake were members that took place within that. Okay. The next problem was their profit situation. So with that, they have numerous competitors such as Google, Amazon, and Apple Music. So with that, these competitors are able to take up parts within their market share. Then they also have more free subscriptions than premium subscriptions. Premium subscriptions only take up about 25% of their actual users that they have on their day-to-day and make up on their year ends. And lastly, their problem is just keeping up with technology. As a company that's within this digital era, staying prominent with new technical trends and keeping up with societal needs is very important. So since they are using a service or offering a service that has to deal with people day in and day out, they have to make sure that they are meeting user experience and convenience. So making sure that they offer this service on all their platforms, on all devices that come out and stay relevant on the market. So with that, they also have to stay up with on top technical trends that come up through the day-to-day lifestyle. Next, I'll be talking about SWOT analysis that comes with this case. So first, I will talk about the strengths. So the strengths of Spotify is that it's the first streaming platform, and with that, it's one of the world's largest leading streaming services. So it operates as a global platform and also has most of their sales within the US. Their apps are also easy to use compared to their competitors, and they offer a free version that a lot of their competitors don't offer within the marketplace. And lastly, they have a high use of social media that creates a social environment. Next, I will be talking about their weaknesses. So like I said, with their royalties, due to the distribution of royalties, artists are receiving low revenues. based off this, artists are limiting their songs that they are giving to Spotify and just removing it from their overall catalogs. And lastly, they have a problem with pushing users towards the premium service. And since they're having an issue with that, it's kind of difficult because they're also decreasing the access that they're giving to their free service. They have a whole bunch of opportunities, but their main opportunities centered around expanding with live music, streaming, interviews, TVs, and film. And lastly, they need to build customer loyalty so users won't switch to other platforms, like I said, with Apple Music, Google, and Amazon. Lastly, with their threats, like I said, with their competitors, iTunes, Amazon, Google, and Apple Music are taking up market share as well. They also are trying to make sure that artists don't go towards their other methods of distribution so that they can keep the finances within the company. And even though you don't see it as much nowadays, illegal downloading is still an option to use towards other users.
Yes, next I'll be talking about the smack section of the case. And from the social aspect, Spotify has a total of 18.5 Facebook followers and a total of 1.5 Instagram followers, as well as a total of 2.3 Twitter followers. Spotify, like my others said, has a mobile app, and with that mobile app, it has up to 102.5 million downloads up to date. The mobile app is compatible with iOS and Android systems. As far as the analytics section, Spotify acquired the Econest, which is responsible for providing data for over 35 million songs, as well as Spotify acquired Seed Scientific, which is a data analytics team who formerly worked with Beats Music, which is now a part of Apple Music. And with the cloud section, Spotify has over 1.5 billion cloud files, which are located in the central U.S. region, a part of the Google Cloud storage space. Spotify originally partnered with Amazon's cloud services until switching over to Google's cloud services.
So now I'm going to talk to you about Spotify's freemium model. Spotify has 3 different subscriptions. It has their free subscription, their premium subscription, and their premium for family subscription. The free subscription allows users to get access to over 30 million songs, access to the podcasts and videos, and up to 14 days of travel abroad with your music. Now, that's all it offers. You'd have ads, you can't listen offline, and you won't have on-demand mobile access. The premium subscription allows you to have everything, while the premium for family subscription allows you to have everything as well as up to 6 premium account users on your account. Now I'll talk about some advantages. Some advantages of Spotify's premium model is that it allows users to see what artists that Spotify offers, what music, if they have their favorite songs, whether or not they like the layout of Spotify, if they decide that they want to use this music app, or if they would like to use a different one. The free model also helps Spotify gain a large number of users so that Spotify can access different data that they can analyze, that they can turn into meaningful information. Some disadvantages are that artists have complained about users being able to access their music for free, and another disadvantage is that Spotify isn't making enough revenue to be offering free features. The conversion rate for the free model is only 37% as well. Now, Spotify
is well advanced in the technology portion. Using data analytics, Spotify has created 3 innovative concepts to their app. One being Discover Weekly, which uses algorithms from users' music tastes and combines them with other user music playlists, which makes the perfect for you playlist, as well as Spotify Running, which detects how fast you're running and combines that with the average beats per minute for a song, and also with the concept Daily Mixes, which provides a everyday mix based on your music preference.
The most important thing that Spotify does is collect data. They use data for everything. Spotify doesn't just collect data to create personalized recommendations of playlists for users based on what they're listening to, but it also tracks what habits you have listening and what habits other users have, and would make recommendations based off those habits that other users have to make recommendations for you, not just of playlists. The data that they first start collecting on users when they register is their age, gender, and location, which is very important. Spotify also has used data to help artists. There was an artist named Hunter Hayes who used Spotify's data to decide where he should have his tours. So Spotify collected different data from different college towns to see who's listening to his music most, and that's where he stopped for his tours, which definitely increased the amount of people that came to his concerts, as well as made users happy. Spotify can also use that same technique to create its own tours for multiple artists.
So now I'll be discussing the business model canvas for Spotify. And to start, the key partners include record companies, the licenses holders, independent advertisement companies, and the actual artists themselves. The key activities include marketing, negotiation of contracts with major record labels, the actual providing of the services electronically, and making sure that all of the different hardware that's responsible for providing the services are always up to date. The customer relationships include interactions online through different like mobile devices, computers, laptops. They actually have game consoles now, specifically through Xbox and PS4. So there's a plethora of ways that customers are able to interact with Spotify. Also, looking at the customer segments is mainly the free users, the subscribers, and the advertisers. Key resources include contracts between different advertisement companies and the actual record labels, as well as branding content, and then overall employee like contractual obligations. The channels include web applications and mobile applications, both on Android and iOS, as well as PC software. And then the cost structure is music royalties, as well as, like regular day-to-day technician salaries, in addition to just the operational cost of actually delivering the service. The revenue streams come from subscription fees and advertisement revenue. And most importantly, the value proposition is that they offer a freemium kind of deal. So they have a free user service where you can listen to the large array, over 100 million tracks of music for free if you listen to different advertisements, or you can pay for the premium service, which allows you to listen to the same catalog but without any of the disruptions. And then for the advertisers, it's a great place to advertise because 75% of the overall 100 million users are actually free subscribers, and so that means that 75% of that 100 million, which is 75 million, will be exposed to the different advertisements because you have to listen to the different advertisements when you have the free service. Next, I'll be talking about the differentiating factors. So out of the large kind of market shareholders in the digital music streaming business, you have Deezer, you have Spotify, obviously, Apple Music, Pandora, Tidal, and Google Music is kind of sneaking in there. And so the main difference is that out of all of the major players in the digital music streaming business, Spotify is the only one that offers a vast array of music content in addition to a free and premium service, fully accessible on both iOS and Android, in addition to being available in over 59 different countries, as well as having a very user-friendly interface that's constantly updated. So when looking at the buyers or the users with the highest buying power, it would definitely be millennials. When you look at who spends the most time using streaming services, and specifically for Spotify, 75% of all of users come from the demographic of 18 years old to 34 years old. So that's really the main demographic that's really using the services. And when you look at their, preferences, most of them are free users because they're so used to getting, free music or like getting it illegally through different like piracy methods. So they're more inclined to be on a very cost efficient or free model. And when looking at why they enjoy streaming music, like I said, about the low cost, they enjoy the ease of use and the vast array of the song library. But the things that they don't enjoy are the cost that can sometimes be too expensive. They don't feel like they're going to use a service enough, or they just feel like it's not worth the money. And so we had to decide where the biggest opportunity would be for this group of millennials that kind of wants this low cost, efficient option. And so when looking at their overall music spending habits, out of the 100% total, I guess, of the money that they put towards spending on music, whether that's physical CDs or concert tickets or, you know, music gift cards, they spend 65% of that on personal experiences. So whether that's a live meet and greet with a DJ or, you know, a concert, something of that nature. And because of this, we feel like Spotify should definitely focus on catering to this millennial base, including just diversifying and differentiating the user experience, creating more original content, which is really big with the younger kind of user base, creating more strategic partnerships both in and without outside of the industry, as well as maintaining the highest saturation in the market. And so how are they going to do this? By having a new offering. And this new offering will be catered to millennials specifically, and it'll be called Spotify Live. And it would basically be a service that you will pay a small premium for, and it will allow you to have access to very exclusive interactions with artists, bands, and things of that nature. So maybe sponsoring a meet and greet or a different concert or a festival, things that are really have a lot of traction with the younger base right now. And that would be something that would be super popular. And like I said, the low cost option would only be $2.99 per month. And so when you look at the business model for future growth, we decided to go with the tiered subscription model. So currently there's free and there's premium at $4.99 for students and $9.99 for, you know, the regular person. And with our new model, we're going to keep the free one, we're going to keep the premium one, but we're going to add Premium Plus. And on Premium Plus, you're going to have no ads, but you'll also have access to Spotify Live. And so we think that would be a really cool offering, but more importantly, to really tap into the millennial base who want the free service. They don't care about listening to ads. We're going to offer Spotify Live as a standalone so they can purchase that separately, and that will really help us dig into that millennial niche. And we believe that going into the tiered subscription model is really important because it's going to help us retain our customers more efficiently. It's going to provide a more constant revenue stream, which is something that Spotify has been struggling with since its inception. And it's going to help us stay on pace with rival firms and the different things that are happening competitively in the industry. And the key decision criteria to kind of get to this point, we wanted something that was going to first and foremost increase revenue, bring diversification, bring a new product, but also just continue to help us saturate the market and differentiate ourselves from our consumers. And so the way that we plan to implement and act on this plan is by first working on like content and licensing with the two partners that will really help us get Spotify Live off the ground, which would be our merch partner called Merch Bar, and they will be attached to all of the specific merchandise that the different artists and bands would be providing that will be exclusively offered to our Spotify Live users, as well as our establishing a contract with Live Nation, who would help us provide like premium or like pre-sale tickets to our Spotify Live owners. We would start first with a marketing campaign to let all of our current users know that we're not getting rid of the free model or the premium model, but we're just making it better and giving you more options. Secondly, we would test and we would scale Spotify Live and test it in the most active Spotify kind of communities to really see, like, is there traction for this? Is this really going to work? And then lastly, we would start the promotion with a series of live experiences where we would do several different kind of personal touch points within the music industry and with different very popular artists and performers. And that would end with a concert at the end of our concert or a music festival at the end of our desired testing period. And now for the
You can tell that Spotify is the number one music streaming platform out there. So with that, for our case study, we came up with a recommendation that was centered around our top three tier pricing system. So that includes our free platform, our premium platform, and our premium plus platform. So with that, we're just trying to address and fix all the issues that we talked about throughout this case. So that's addressing the royalties, keeping ahead with the technology, making sure that they are addressing all user experiences and conveniences, and just trying to bridge that gap of the lost profit and the lost profit margin that they have been having since their debut in 2008. So I hope that you enjoyed our presentation, and this is the end.